My millionaire sister accidentally caught me sleeping under a bridge, homeless, exhausted, forgotten. After she learned my children had abused me, stolen my house, and thrown me out, she bought me a beachfront condo and gave me $5 million to start over. Days later, my kids showed up smiling, flowers in hand. But she saw right through them. And so did I. My own son threw my suitcase into the rain and shouted that I was nothing but a burden. At 72, I found myself shivering under a bridge. My dignity washed away with the storm. I felt abandoned, like all the years I gave to raise him had been erased in a single night. But fate had other plans, and when my sister discovered me there, everything changed. They thought I would remain silent, broken. Instead, a storm of truth was waiting, and it would destroy their lives forever. My suitcase hit the pavement with a wet, heavy thud. The rain didn't stop. It kept coming down like the sky was angry for me. My son stood in the doorway, arms crossed, his face tight with disgust. He didn't shout this time. He didn't need to. The silence between us said it all. He'd made up his mind I had no place in his house anymore, or in his life. I didn't beg. I picked up my suitcase, soaked through by the time I reached the sidewalk, my slippers squished with every step as I walked out into the storm. No umbrella, no coat, just a sweater that was warm 2 hours ago. Behind me, the door slammed shut. That sound stayed with me longer than I'd like to admit. I didn't cry that night. Instead, I walked until my legs gave out. I found a low concrete wall under the overpass just off the main road. It wasn't safe, it wasn't dry, but it was hidden. I pulled my soaked suitcase under me, leaned against the wall and listened to the sound of tires splashing through puddles. My body hurt, but not as much as my chest. My bones felt like paper, and my heart felt like ash. A few people passed, no one looked twice to them. I was just another homeless woman in a city full of them. That was the part that scared me most. I didn't feel like me anymore. I felt invisible, discarded. I kept hearing his voice in my head, the way he said the word burden, like I was some chore, like the years I raised him never happened. I remembered the scraped knees I kissed, the meals I skipped so he could eat, and now in his eyes, I was just weight. The wind cut harder. The longer I sat, I pulled the blanket tighter when I found in my suitcase, thin and damp, my body shook anyway, not just from cold, from shame, from disbelief. Maybe some of you understand that feeling when the people you gave everything to look at you like you're nothing. That night, I didn't sleep much. I listened to cars, to sirens, to the sound of something inside me breaking apart around 3 in the morning. The rain slowed. I was just starting to nod off when I heard footsteps, not hurried, not heavy, measured. I looked up, and for a second I thought I was dreaming. Vivian, my little sister. Her hair was soaked, makeup gone, but she looked at me like she hadn't seen me in 20 years, and maybe in a way, she hadn't. We hadn't spoken much after she moved to Florida. Life got in the way, family, things, complicated things, but there she was standing in front of me like a miracle wrapped in trench coat fabric and fury. She didn't say anything at first. She just knelt down beside me, brushed the wet hair from my face and put her hand on mine, and that was it. That was the first real human touch I'd felt in weeks, maybe months. She helped me to my feet without a word, picked up my suitcase and led me to her rental car like it was the most natural thing in the world. No questions, no judgment. I sat in her car, heat on full blast, blanket around my shoulders, trying not to fall apart. She handed me a thermos of tea, still warm, smelled like honey and mint. I took a sip and felt the first flicker of safety since I left that house. We didn't speak until we hit the highway. "You're coming with me," she said. I nodded, not because I agreed, but because I could. Imagine going anywhere else. She didn't ask what happened. She didn't have to. I think she saw it in my face, in the way I held the tea with both hands, like it was all I had left in the world. The road stretched long and silent. Every few miles I glanced at her, same determined eyes, same straight back. Vivian had always been fire where I was water. She burned when people hurt her. I endured. I survived, but that night, I started to wonder if surviving was enough. When we reached the motel outside Tallahassee, she handed me a room key and a bag of clean clothes. I took a hot shower, the first in days, scrubbed off the rain, the dirt, the humiliation, stared at myself in the mirror until the steam blurred my face. Then I slept, not deeply, not peacefully, but I slept in a bed, and the next morning, when she said we'd be heading south to Clearwater, I didn't ask why. I just followed, because something inside me had shifted, not all at once, not loud, but enough to feel it. Maybe you felt it too, that quiet turn, that moment you realize, this time, I'm not going to let it go. This time, I'm not swallowing my pain just to keep the peace, not when it costs me everything. If you've ever had someone you love treat you like garbage, if you've ever had to pick yourself up off the ground with nothing but pride and aching joints, then maybe you'll understand what I did next. And trust me, it won't be pretty, but it will be fair. The next morning came fast. I opened my eyes to a low hotel ceiling and the steady hum of the air conditioner. The bed under me was too firm, the sheets scratchy, but compared to concrete and rain, it felt like heaven. My muscles ached from the night before, but my hands were warm. For the first time in days, I sat up slowly, wrapping the motel blanket around my shoulders. I wasn't home, but I was somewhere that was enough. Vivian was already dressed and packing up her things. She moved fast, focused like she'd been planning something all night. She didn't ask how I slept, she didn't offer small talk. Just picked up my suitcase and said, "We need to get moving." I followed her out to the parking lot. The sky was pale blue, the air thick with humidity, the way Florida always smells. Before noon, I slid into the passenger seat, and as soon as the doors shut, she put the car in drive. No hesitation. 10 minutes down the road, she pulled into a gas station, left the car running and told me to wait. She returned with a thermos of fresh coffee, a breakfast sandwich and a folder. She handed me the folder. First inside was a printout of a real estate listing, a condominium unit in Clearwater, 2 bedrooms, ocean view, fully furnished. The price made my stomach tighten. I looked at her, and she finally spoke again. "That place is yours. I bought it this morning." I didn't say anything. My mouth stayed open for a few seconds before I managed to close it.